Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3 Immortal Empires, that's the name of this thing, where today I'm thinking that maybe we are going to have to leave a permanent guard behind over here, just because the Khemri are way more aggressive than I thought they were going to be. I guess they don't have anything else to do, but I certainly don't want to, I don't want our allies to lose a ton of ground to them. I don't know. Maybe it's not necessary, but we could leave one of our demon lords behind, or like Baradon or something. Just have Baradon stay back here and be the warden of the Northwest. Also, I'm realizing I have not made sure to stay up to date on our warband stuff. Is anybody at a state where they should get upgraded? Okay, these normal trolls should definitely become armored trolls. I have a lot of raw chaos warriors here who probably ought to become the thing. I mean, they don't all need to be the same, but... And part of the value of this system, right, is the way it lets you sort of like customize individual forces. But I do feel like against the Khemri, these ought to be a lot better. They're going to have a lot of just like skeletons. Maybe I don't need to be specializing to defeat the skeletons. The skeletons are not very impressive to start with. I do think I'm going to go ahead and turn these into Doom Knights.
Where there are shadows, I shall be.
Oh, sorry, they're rank 7. Well, they can become Chaos Knights of Siege, at least. I should probably do that with all the Chaos Knights. I always forget that there's a step in between the... Yeah, you get marked as well. This one's ready to go up. These can be turned at any tier. Okay. I feel like we have a good balance of forces here. You need one more rank? Yeah. Okay, and Tolson's force is all updated. Tolson's force is ready. Okay. So we definitely have just like a bunch of fucking Khemri running around in our territory.
Wipe them out. All of them.
Yeah, where do you think you're going?
Leave nothing but
These Khemri forces that are largely skeleton troops, they just are not going to stand a chance against us at all. It is possible that the Khemri could they could run a sort of a monster-heavy army that I think would perform a lot better against us. We'll just have to see if they get their shit together enough to do that. So we now have the final 4 skill points that Tolson's ever going to have. So let's make sure we get the things that we want with these. First things first, I do think we have the important elements of the yellow line. We have all the spells except for piercing bolts, which I think I will never cast. Who in his army is not covered by his current red line stuff? We have monsters, we have cavalry, we have infantry. So yeah, the cavalry is not covered. 12 charge bonus. We do have them covered by this. Yeah, okay, so we have the end of line skill for them. This will be a 10% reload time reduction for the hell cannons, which is, yeah, this, I mean, when they level up again, it will be.
True demonic glory.
If I took this, it would be 20% extra. Well, it says non-demonic missile cavalry. Okay, and artillery units. I'm not sure if the non-demonic thing applies to the artillery units, and I'm not sure if the hell cannon counts as a demonic artillery unit because the hell cannon itself is a demon, I believe. But like, it's a unit that's available to the Chaos Warriors normally, so that's probably what they mean by non-demonic. I guess let's boost up the Cav, and then we'll go ahead and grab Malevolent Ranger with the last point.
Useful adornments. Ascended!
Thanks, Talson. I'm so glad that you feel that what I'm doing is useful to you. That was really my first concern.
Take heed.
Okay, Be'lakor obviously is going to fight. Sigvald's coming with us.
Moving, father.
If somebody's staying behind, and I don't know for sure that somebody is,
My faith in
it's
you will.
probably Baradon. But maybe we just don't worry about it. Maybe we let the Norskins handle it or not handle it as they will. I think I'm just gonna send everybody out.
Destruction awaits.
We're all headed to the portal, and then we are going to go and ruin the lives of some dwarves. Speaking of dwarves,
Destruction.
we have been sieged. Is it honestly claiming that Scully Ulick is close enough to participate in this battle? It is. I don't know that I agree with that assertion. I'll tell you what, though. I do think this is one of those cases where the AI is not going to... This result is wrong, I think. I am fairly sure that if we fought this battle manually, we would lose it. I guess a lot of it depends on what exactly they did here, but it's hard for me to imagine resisting this number of dwarven troops. I guess, okay, so there's a lot of stuff here that's relatively soft. I don't know, maybe. It feels to me like this would be a loss, though. So I think the auto-resolver is giving us a little bit of extra safety. We're going to lose some high-ranking Khorne units, but I think we're going to take the auto-resolve because I think this would go worse otherwise. You know what? I could lightning strike it, actually, though. Sorry. I forgot. We have lightning strike, so we only actually have to fight one of their armies, which makes this way easier. Alright, please stop sieging me. I am absolutely going to take the replenishment off of you. We will just devour the captives. Yeah, lightning strike fucking rules. The AI sometimes has real problems coordinating their units. They'll attack you with 20 units but spread over 2 armies for absolutely no reason. It's a bad habit. They need to get out of it. The garrison of Grom Peak is 17 units, and Ungram Iron Fist is in there recruiting more. Who would I want to be the lead on the siege? Probably the one with the cannons. I want the cannons to start on the field, if possible. So we are just going to siege up. But this is their last settlement, right? At this point? Now that we've taken Jufbar back?
Begin.
So if we lock them in here, they can't do any recruitment at all, really.
Let us corrupt.
Just make sure you are within reinforcement range. We don't have to make this happen right away. I just want to... Okay, good. We are showing up as in reinforcement range. We're gonna let them starve for a second while we recover and run more troops to the thing. And then Karaza Karak is about to have just a terrible time. So Crom, I think, probably wants to stay put. I guess we could ride out and attack Scully Ulick. We should probably do that.
Do you take me for a wazzock?
His army's pretty small. His troops are tired. We're not in great shape, but I don't want to spend the Dark Prince's secret here. I think we're going to have need for it against Karaza Karak. His army is definitely better than the one we just defeated. And I am wondering if we might be in over our heads trying to engage them in a field battle as damaged as we are. Oh, I should remember to warband these. So we can go all the way to Doom Knights. Do we want to? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. It does reduce our total charging mass fairly significantly, but the quick repositioning, the ability to attack flying units, yeah, it's all good. So they have some giant slayers who are probably not a huge threat to us. They do mostly do armor piercing damage, which is a shame. No, I think we should be able to take them.
Wipe them out.
Okay, it's going to give me a decisive victory. I'll take that, sure. I was going to say, this is one where we will maybe actually have to do manual, or we'll at least be incentivized to go manual, but never mind. The auto-resolver does seem to like our faction. It doesn't really matter what we click here, because we're going to end up with all of the points eventually anyway. Alright, Malefice is doing what needs to be done. Erkthal is right behind. Hivald Vorpal Shard, sorry, is over here and maybe stays over here to keep an eye on things? To keep harassing these units? No, let's send you through the portal as well. And we don't quite have the income to support another proper army. Out of curiosity, nope. Valkia still is just simply not available. That's a real shame. I thought for sure we were claiming Valkia. And the game certainly seemed to think so as well. Just make sure she's not in the big list. No, she sure isn't. Alright. I can't imagine that Ungrim's going to try to ride out against us here. If he does, we will have a huge advantage in an open field battle. But this, like, technically it is the right move for him to attack, because this is the best it's ever going to be for him. The situation's just going to spiral and get worse every turn from here. Unless he thinks maybe he can do enough recruitment with Griswold Starkeeper outside the walls to build up a counter contact force. What he does not know is that we are about to have a huge number of troops pour through this portal.
Welcome. Let me keep...
What's up, my dude? A military alliance. The value of this seems very low to me. So he's got a bit of territory. I am kind of wondering about like going back up there and confederating them through force as well. Alright, it seems like most of the dwarven nations have been broken. The dwarfpocalypse spawns have been dealt with. There's really just the two that we have to fight that are still extremely powerful. Because of course that's how that works out. And somewhere Morslib's howlers are recovering. In Ostermark? I don't care about Ostermark.
By the eldritch I see.
You know, I'm gonna have Crom right up here.
Kill them all.
We're gonna take Grom Peak down right now, I think. I'm gonna crush this tiny force trying to build up outside the walls. And then that ought to be the end of that, I would think. A potion of foolhardiness. Okay, game. Feels like a little bit of commentary. Do we want to own Grom Peak? I don't really think so. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be helpful. And Malefice Painbringer gets an extra 5 melee attack. Cool. Alright, Caracadron down. They were not on my list, but they were in the way. So, we'll grab this stuff. I think all of that is very valuable and important. And then we just start building up like the other armies. Unfortunately, there's not really all that much diversity in build.
The gods.
Here, our force is kind of the same. All the way across.
My prayers are answered.
Mine eldritch eyes see.
Man, Urkathal, I was really not planning on keeping you around. Okay, so Crom won't be able to move very much. Malefac's Prainbringer won't be able to move very much. So I'm just going to let Urkathal stay exactly here as well. Urkathal may go back and provide defense at Jufbar for just in case. And let's take a second here and verify victory conditions. So 7 settlements off of this list. It's interesting that the ultimate campaign victory doesn't include victory over the other types. Like the long campaign victory explicitly says in it you have to have the short victory. This one is just, yeah, this. It's not going to give us a buff for doing it or anything. So how much of this stuff is in this area? Barak Var is down at the bay. Karak Zorn is way south. Karaza Karak is where we're going. Karak Hearn is a little bit to the west. Azorn is considerably to the east. Zarakzil is, yeah, over there. Karak Azul is pretty far south. It's not that far south. Karak Norn is in those mountains. Okay. So after we take Karaza Karak, it probably makes sense to relocate to Nuln and grab the 2 that are around Nuln, and that, in theory, will wrap up this victory condition, and then we'll be back to just finishing the job here, which we're not actually that far off of. All right, how is everybody in this force doing? We're pretty close.
Shadows move.
Most of us will be there next turn. Talson gets there this turn. Hooray for the rifts. I probably don't need to send everybody here.
So be it.
I think we could probably afford to send at least a couple of these forces in the direction of Nuln.
Moving.
Forward and
I do wish that Hivald was a little closer, because I think the thing I would like to do most with Nuln is send an agent through. I mean, we can probably do that. I'm almost certain I have agent capacity remaining. Yeah, I have a billion agent capacity remaining, in fact. Let's hire an Exalted Hero. Big campaign line of sight bonus. Feels pretty significant.
For the gods of chaos.
So you're going to pick up probably the ability to assassinate people is a real high priority.
Ha! The slaughter begins.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll just have Karen Godslayer go check the situation out. Urkathal is the one who's not moving, and yeah, I guess we're good. We have literally no upgrades available anywhere. We're technically still at war. We're technically still not at war with any of these vampire factions, which is weird but true. I guess they're busy. I think Lund Steelbeard is going to Karak Kadron. Totally could be, right? Maybe we'll send one army through the portal just back to here. It would be convenient to hold on to this. I have 227,000 gold. What am I even going to do with it? Like, the answer is theoretically diplomacy, but like what, though? Wait, the Northern Provinces only has 1 settlement? Is that the one I'm supposed to destroy? Was it the... Sorry, this is the wrong button. Was it the northern one or the western one that's on my list? No, it's the... Okay, so the Northern Provinces are getting their ass kicked without us. Reichland and... We'll go do Reichland and Talson, and then we'll see... This might happen without me ever having to set foot over there. We might actually be very close. So is there anybody where it would, like, make sense for me to just, like, drop a large amount of money on them? Out of curiosity, that Khemri faction, could we...
Do not bother me.
Probably not. Minus 491 is pretty harsh.
Not welcome on the day of awakening.
Okay, alright. Again, I say, your speech patterns are extremely wet for a guy who has no fluids of any kind. I guess let's just see how the dwarves respond to all this. So yeah, we'll send 2 armies through to start picking up Nuln, because there's no way I'm going to benefit from 7 armies in these narrow passes. We won't be able to jam enough troops into battle to continue gaining benefit. All right, watching that Clan Engrund army here for sure. Okay, they went somewhere. Not toward my stuff.
That
No, thank you. You know what I don't need is more war right now. I am at war with everybody that I need to be at war with. I do want to apologize, by the way, if I haven't said it already, for my chronic health issues are a real bummer, and I'm sorry when I always feel bad when they sort of like cut into the content. I'm having a day where I'm like distracted or not able to run the episodes as long as I would like. Oof. Take care of your bodies, kids. Auntie Samhain didn't, and now there are some days where she can't sit up all day. Okay, the orcs are doing a bad job at something, somewhere. We're finishing technologies that do not matter.
Lord of Shadows.
Alright, I think like a Bellicor and Intiro have been pretty powerful so far. Let's send the scout through first, though, right? Godslayer, go see what the deal is. Oh, interesting. Here it is. Nope, that's not the right one at all. Well, we can still kind of see over here thanks to agents of our allies. So Nuln has been built up to a 15-unit garrison. Surrounded mostly by factions I'm not actually at war with. So I think we can, in fact, just come through and hit it. I screwed up the portal, but we still have the information we need.
Damned.
We should not come through in March mode. All right, let me make sure I'm actually doing this right. So this is the one, yeah, because that's the Dark Fortress. Okay. Reikland's going to be cross with me for trespassing, and they're just going to have to deal.
By my demonic hand!
These two together ought to be able to handle it. Then I think we're actually going to send some of these units through to... hold on. Not done yet. I think Baradon's going home.
Who are these grotesqueries?
I might send both of these armies back to Albion, actually.
Move.
Because I am seeing things on the horizon. So, first of all, the Morslib's Howlers threatening our territory again. Secondly, there's a fucking dread fleet over here. Who do they think they are?
Yes, my ruinous powers.
Let's see if we can't mop that nonsense up. We have enough armies that I think this is like a reasonable thing to do. I could have started putting together a new army for this purpose, I suppose. I don't think we quite have the resources to run another full-size army, but we could run at a slight negative for like a really long time.
My lord, Zinch agrees. Yes.
All right, I'm just trying to like get a sense of everybody's movement range in March mode. This is how far Crom can get.
About this.
Do we know where Clan Angron's army went? Okay, Kun Death Dealer is headed over here to be a pain in the ass. Let's,
What is unthinkable?
yeah, let's have one of these forces fall back to protect Jufbar. Not so much to protect Jufbar, even as to kill this thing. I wish the dwarves would not, or I wish the vampires would not let the dwarves walk through their territory.
Yes, it is so.
Here, I'm going to try to do this in a way where they don't know that I'm doing it,
Go now.
ideally. We'll see. They're probably going to see through this.
A glorifying act. There shall be ruin. Moving now.
But yeah, I think the rest of you do continue on this way.
The gods shall see the world burn.
All right.
Brutality is such.
Yeah, so for the moment, it doesn't seem like Carcadron itself is in danger. Maybe Clan Angron's army got stomped out by chaos? They're probably just in this dark area that we can't see. What even? What even? I mean, we could afford to lose the little bit of authority to gain the extra bonuses on our aspiring champions. I suppose. Yeah, we'll just pick up more of this stuff. Unfortunately, a lot of these technologies do actually nothing. The Cursor's Boon came off cooldown again. Not entirely sure why. Well, in any case, I don't think we have any use for it at the moment.
Ruinous powers shall consume all.
So if we can blitz Karaza Karak, get that under control.
Play in the dark.
I don't even know what your... yeah, you are enemies with a lot of people I aspire to be enemies with as well. Sure. Anybody who's trying to knock out the northern provinces without me being over there is a friend of mine. I think we caught Karaza Karak on a little bit of a downswing here. Kun Death Dealer attempted to use the underway to move past us. Oh, this army is a total joke. And individual gyrocopters are going to get absolutely shredded by the hell cannons. Yeah, that's a terrible circumstance for them. They should not have attempted that underway movement. Well, I'm glad we sent the army back then. Also, I love to see the what do you call them? Not the Skaven, the Norskins, all the way down here. You don't usually see a Norskin settlement put up at Valdenhof. This game, the way that the Chaos Knights and the Norskin settlements interact here is really nice, actually. I think they've done a really excellent job of making you feel like the lord of a lesser force that you can actually trust to behave in a way that makes sense for them and the story, which was not always the case with this kind of vassalization stuff in Total War Warhammer 1 and 2. The mechanics were often pretty untrustworthy. Alright. So, a tiny little army sacked Jufbar and then just ran off into the night, I guess? Yeah, we'll leave that.
You dare.
I mean, I guess it's up to Malefics to solve this problem. How many... This is a 3 Hell Cannon unit, but yeah, monsters. We definitely want to take monster bonuses first.
I am pleased.
I mean, we could just come over here and wipe out Jufbar. Is this their only settlement? If I took this down, would that be the end of that faction? Yeah, okay. One less enemy to deal with seems wise.
You have my faith. This is wise.
Ambush mode's pretty effective against underway moves because it's very often the case that an underway move will be made from so far away that they don't even get close enough to trigger the check to see if they see you.
Lord of torment.
I don't know where you got those orders from, but please don't do that.
They shall fall.
There's no reason really not to pull in the second army as reinforcements. Yeah, wow, both of those demons really wanted to just run across the entire world.
Your death will be inconsequential.
All right. Taking over the Dark Fortress.
Token.
At least it's been left at a level where we can build defenses immediately. Okay, defenses and money and growth. And then we probably want to consider moving up into these mountains, huh? In fact, I might just send Intiro up now. Karak Asgaraz belongs to that faction of Wood Elves that we're at war with, but that we don't actually care about at all. So we could get Karak Norn pretty easily. And then, like, Karak Hearn is the other one we take. We don't even worry about Ziflin, which would be like a nightmare to reach. Yeah, I think this is reasonable. We're going to do a lot of carefully moving in ambush mode. Why is the terrain movement cost fluctuating in such strange ways?
Tread the paths of chaos.
All right, yeah, sure. Trek these particular paths of chaos. Places where there are forests to hide, you know, we get some slightly better ambush chances.
Chaos.
And these forces are advancing menacingly on Mount Gunbad. How many of us?
Destruction.
Seems like everybody should be able to reach it.
Princely.
All right, Tolson's at maximum HP. His group can be the leader.
You have my promise. Chaos. Demand.
And we are absolutely just going to completely ruin them through numbers.
You need a boon. A deluge of slaughter.
Yeah. Just a quick deluge of slaughter for these guys.
It is endless.
No reason to hold on to it. Okay, I suspect they're going to have a hard time stopping this push. You know what I do not love is the fact that they are like fanned out all over the place, actually destroying all of their settlements. It's maybe going to be a little bit annoying.
What? For chaos.
All right, max rank on this exalted hero. You are still picking up the basics, though.
Now they will see true power.
Pretty bummed out about this Valkia thing, I gotta be honest with you. Okay, back on Albion. Indeed. They're just going right for us.
Let us go!
Well, we're gonna try to sneak up on them.
My adoring.
Because I can't quite reach them this turn even if I do try to move fast. So we may as well employ some treachery. which, you know, historically we are not great at.
It is so.
Chaos awaits.
I think I am going to send Vorpalshard through to the Dwarf Mountains. I don't really see a point in putting him anywhere else. And the Godslayer is definitely in the wrong spot here. I guess you could be over here. There are things for you to do in this region. So Carrick Norn is just sitting empty, huh? Doesn't seem super believable. I'm definitely worried that we're going to get over there and it's going to turn out that there's like a Skaven force that I'm not familiar with. There wouldn't be much of a problem though. I can't imagine. Yeah, let's keep an eye on the Dwarven conflict. This is definitely the dwarf settlement that's going to take us the longest to get. And then we also have to deal with this elf faction that we're at war with, because you are never, ever free from the elves. No matter where you go, no matter how many of them you kill, there is no escape. Okay, so they're building up around the high place. Also, the other dwarf faction. I don't know how the expedition... Like, they must be doing very, very little down south where they are. Nobody is fighting them at all. They can just afford to have armies sort of scattered all over the world, attacking us from all angles all the time. Very annoying.
You play in the dark.
What's up, Kazrak? No. However, how about instead of this, I ask you to declare war on... No, not this. I want you to join me in a war. How do I... Maybe this is not a time for that. I guess you can't ask factions to directly declare war on other factions, maybe. There's a join in war button, isn't there? Whatever. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Because, like, that's what they're doing to us. Okay, I have to remove that. The terms of this have to be negotiated all at once. What about you going to war against the Howlers? That would be very expensive, apparently. Never mind. Okay. They have one army and it's right there. Well, I mean, they have a second army, but that's not... They have one army that could be relevant to the Beastmen. Just no interest in helping me out in my moment of need. Alright, no ambushes ever.
The gods shall see the world. Chaos incarnate.
Okay.
Ruin unending.
And Tiro may as well just knock this out.
Ruination.
The Wood Elves have kind of a similar restriction to us. They can't turn most places into real settlements. They just build these crappy little outposts.
A ruinous triumph.
So we do have to take out this Elven faction. It doesn't look like they're very large. Oh, never mind. They've spread out all the way to the... Okay, maybe it's going to be a little bit more of a production than I was hoping.
God maker.
Okay, next turn we will have a proper garrison. I mean, taking this over is not a 2-army job. There's some other stuff over here that we'd like to crush, but I am definitely thinking maybe we just, Are you at war with the vampires? No.
Experiment.
the dark.
This is where things are going to get a little bit tricky because we're going to start doing a lot of trespassing. How big is the Empire?
I will hear your petition.
10 settlements. It's not really what I wanted to hear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, they have some stuff that's like more distant, or... we do have to eliminate this faction from the map. I'm debating just getting started. Worrying about the other Dwarfhold stuff later. Because right now... I'm not sure if we ran down and grabbed Carrick Hearn. I'm not sure how long it's going to take us to get Karazakarak. And it doesn't help us to have this until then. And I don't want to try to defend it. But we could just empty out the Empire. Like, that's no problem at all.
True demonic glory.
And they're going to try to backstab me at some point.
Interesting.
Okay, the Golden Order is tiny and weak. I'm going to have Bellicor come down here and wipe them out.
Master. Of course.
We'll break their faction now if we can. And then once we've done so, we'll be in range to potentially lay some hurt onto Carrick Hearn. We'll see how things work out. We'll see what looks like it makes sense from there.
You are God.
Alright, now here's where this gets tricky. There are an awful lot of enemy armies gathering up around the fork in this pass.
For chaos.
How are we going to navigate this number of enemy units? It does strike me that maybe it would be a good idea to have another army, or another set of armies, like trying to come through here. What the hell is... How are there wood elves? I don't understand what... Okay, no peace is possible. One problem at a time.
A glorifying act.
Oh, actually, you can't get past over here anyway. Well, never mind. I thought we'd be able to run along the shore of the lake. We're going to have to go down out of the mountains either way, so we may as well harass those wood elves. And look, it's 2 armies from Jufbar.
I will not disgrace my ancestors.
All right, I think we're gonna fully back up. Let's get out of Vampire Land. Yeah, that's bad news, is what that is. Well, I guess the answer is we approach slowly. I certainly don't want to get attacked before we have a chance to heal up.
Moving now. You have my promise. Damned with power. Destruction awaits.
How close can I get you? I definitely don't want to trade units. I want to just stand nearby.
Let's be about this.
Okay.
Now they will see true power.
Concealed to kill.
If any of those armies remain concealed, there's a good chance the dwarves will just fall into a very silly trap. Okay, this worked out. Sadly, that's still not going to wipe the faction out, but we can get there. Okay, and then we're going to have like a handful more points. We could grab a little bit more yellow line stuff, but I do feel like he has really good combat stats already. So maybe the right play is just to redline a little bit more.
Excellent.
Pick up buffs for the hell cannons and whatnot.
The gods smile. Destruction for all.
Alright, so we know they have bodies over there still.
This is wise.
That is forbidden.
Ah, this army is mostly extremely basic troops. I am not afraid of them.
The gods direct you.
Handsome and lethal.
I'll move, I suppose.
I am going to try to kill them, but I am not afraid of them.
Forward unto slaughter.
It's right over here and try to get a little bit of advanced warning on reinforcements and stuff that might be headed in Bellacor's general direction. Alright, it's just 6 enemy armies all working in concert to totally screw up my stuff. No big deal. Alright, the Caledonian armies just ran right up to us. And I positioned us far enough south that I can't see the ambush flags on my own units. That's no good. Some Skaven want to get along. You know what? Absolutely. I don't even know where that Skaven clan is. We might want to take a look at that on our turn. Maybe they own Carrick Norn? That would be fine with me. If it's a Skaven clan, we can just make friends with them. Okay, so most of the enemy armies veered away. The elves ran toward us and will be consumed for their folly. I can't believe that guy's name is just Vragny Getgold. Even for a dwarf, that name seems a little on the nose. So there's a lot of stuff happening to the east of us that is probably not going to end up being relevant because it looks like we're not going to have to deal with Cathay ourselves. But we might want to take a quick look into the politics of this area and just figure out who we might want to make an agreement or two with. Yep, ambush is foiled all over the place. The blood guzzlers have been destroyed. Oh no. So you're a Norskin faction somehow.
Straight to business. Where shall we raid next? The longships are ready.
Okay, yeah, you're yeah, I guess this is the Chaos Waste. It's just a lot of Norskin factions have been able to extend themselves much further out than usual. Team Chaos is doing pretty great work kind of everywhere. Alright, so Fildorf is not an easy sack. However,
Chaos
there is other stuff around here that we could move on instead.
no rest.
Nolan has something of a real garrison now. It would probably hold out for at least a turn against real attack. Okay, lots of Chaos friends pushing this general direction, which I like. And to be honest with you, I was not expecting there to be a Clan Norn army right there. I can't imagine it's going to allow me to actually fight them. Well, you know what? I think they're not allowed to... they might not be allowed to back off because they're in underway stance mode. I'm gonna be gutsy and aggressive here. We're gonna go for it, even though we don't know what armies or what units are in this army. It turns out it's 2 armies. That's pretty not great. It's 2 kind of crummy armies, but it is 2 armies. Yeah, Belagar Ironhammer was in reinforcement mode right there, which means we're probably dead now. Just try to become invisible right in front of them. If I can catch one of them off guard with an ambush, then we can still survive, maybe. But Bellacor's army is probably lost.
We shall weave the fates.
They are going to try to take back that settlement, and they're going to try to do it right the fuck now.
Invade.
They just really do not like me owning Nuln.
Undivided.
Well, the dwarves moved away from the high place, so I feel like we should just hit it, right?
Murder them.
Like, let's just knock this out. Let's make it harder for them to replenish in the area.
Unleash.
Very easy victory. Burn it to the ground. And then everybody mass up around Talsin for protection.
Never stop. Yes. Very well, I'll move. Defy me.
Okay. They could theoretically mass an awful lot of troops against us here, but I wonder if they will. I wonder if they will have the coordination. All of those enemies seem to have disappeared. Don't necessarily trust that.
Are you a god?
We're going to replenish back to full and then try again next turn.
Bring ruin.
My visions predict failure.
Where did the Dread Fleet go? They're just gone. Okay, well.
Chaos.
Bring it on, get back up here and prepare to defend.
God's will.
And Sigvald is going to go fuck up this this rogue faction. Yeah, this is the thing they're doing. They're leaving one army with just like a single lord back to rebuild, sending full-size stacks at us. And then if we kill them, they're just already rebuilding again. Very annoying stuff. I guess Echo Chamber is slightly better in that it kind of does something. Someday Hivold will catch up to what we're doing here.
Blood for the blood god. Desist.
Okay, well that's embarrassing. Nuln should be able to hold out against this force. But yeah, I am like pretty annoyed at the number of Clan Angrund dwarves that are ready at a moment's notice to attack Nuln. I think we're going to have a very interesting turn here. Gosh, I hope Bellacor's ambush holds. It didn't. And the annoying thing is, somebody saw through him even before it was the dwarves' turn.
I am the harbinger. The fourth.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I will absolutely take that. We need to rebuild our relationship. So I fell back, and the game is like choking on that movement so badly that we didn't even get to actually see it happen. But I guess I fell back far enough that they couldn't pursue me with both armies? I'm kind of shocked at that. Also, for some reason, the camera is now tilted 45 degrees off of the angle we've been looking at the board from the entire game. I really wish it wouldn't do that. God, there are just so many dwarves. So many dwarves everywhere all the time forever. Yep, every ambush seen through. Could you please... Okay, they have moved too far for me to harass them somehow. Go fuck up the garrison at Fildorf. This is... Assault garrison is usually a pretty good way to just farm XP. Although sometimes you just can't get anything done. Yeah, an extra 2% success chance. Who knows? Might help.
The first.
All right, so we don't know where... That other army's got to be in ambush mode defending this, right? I'm going to back up.
Spread the darkness.
Because it's very obvious that Hadra Knucklebreaker here is going for Nuln.
Here we stay.
See if we can get him to commit to that.
The demonic host.
And Tiro is going to discover if this is in fact empty. Okay, looks like it might be. We wouldn't see if it's a Skaven settlement until we actually access it, but like there's no Skaven armies around it at least.
Yes.
So the dwarves are sort of falling back in our wake. That's pretty great news.
For all chaos.
I do think we need to go ahead and knock out these settlements off to the side here.
Go for chaos.
Sort of like conquer them, or corral them in as small an area as possible.
Bring ruin.
Dominance.
I can reach Thorgrim, and his army's not full size. We could probably embarrass him pretty good. Yeah, go for it. Okay.
Now they will see true power. Ready. Fate decrees I move. Beyond your comprehension.
Did you just refuse the rest of your move order?
Never stop.
You know what? It's fine.
Are you a god? Destroy.
It's fine. Just ambush mode right here. Sometimes they just assume that you cannot possibly have meant the thing you told them to do, and so they won't do it. I need to get over to Carreg Dromar and knock it over.
Onward to destruction.
Thing is, it's a long run for sure,
Stop.
and we have no idea where the dwarven armies are around here.
Unto slaughter.
And we do know that the AI is smart enough to lay ambushes and stuff, so... Alright, this is all cliff. Yep, alright, well,
Never.
we'll get on the beach where we can get on the beach. We're really going for it this time. I mean it.
Bring ruin. Move.
No, wait, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I choose.
Why would me clicking on this army be interpreted as an order to do this thing? Yeah, it sure does look like they intend to launch a real, like, proper assault here, though. Marathi showing up, and... I don't want to have to deal with this. I do not have time to deal with this. We are very busy.
Die.
More like Snorri can be doomed, right? Right?
My magic.
Yeah, right. Good work. Excellent job, friend.
The gods smile.
Okay. Do not know exactly what is going on with that system. It does seem to be just kind of not functional for this faction. You know what I probably am going to do? Let's start putting together a new army in Albion. So do we want a Sorcerer Lord? We could run a Chaos Lord and a proper Sorcerer as well, I guess. Opened Eyes, Burning Body. Plus 35 charge bonus is interesting. Kind of. I really like missile resistance on a caster who's going to end up on a big flying mount. It's definitely potentially interesting. You know what? We're going to take on a another Deathcaster.
You dare! What eldritch I see! The gods smile.
All right, I'm going to recruit him an Exalted Hero. We may as well throw a hero in the army. None of these are terribly exciting.
Slaughter in your name. Chaos comes for them.
Base attack stats on these things are so high.
The slaughter begins.
And then do we have some... Okay, yeah, we have some alliance points here. We could bring in some units. Do I want to grab some of their cool catapults? Probably not, just because of how expensive they are. Here, we'll get a couple of flamethrowers. And I am ready to throw down the Unholy Manifestation here. But I'm not really sure that we need to do it now. We could weaken one of the armies around this cluster, but mostly they've backed up enough that I don't think they're probably immediately going to be able to collapse on us. I think let's just hold on for the moment. This makes me pretty nervous, though. It's an awful lot of bodies who are awfully opposed to me and everything I am trying to get done.
You summoned the first prince.
Nope. I do like the fact that they consider Clan Engrund to be their major threat. I think that the AI is doing some pretty good math on that one. Oh, right. I forgot to check where Clan Eshin actually is. Alright, how many dwarves are going to fall into my trap? None of them, it looks like. Not a single dwarf has any interest in what I am doing over here. And we don't get any notification of what's going on over by our other forces, which doesn't tell us much. Like, it may be the case that Nuln is under siege by that Clan Engrund army at this point. They may have seen through Bellacor's ambush and decided to run. In any case, I do think I apparently have underestimated the difficulty of conquering Carrickhearn. I did not realize how many factions were going to put their entire militaries between me and that goal. Unit experience up. Our characters are doing fine. Okay.
Harbinger.
All right, lots of friendly armies in the area to help us commit lots of murders. I have to imagine. What's in Balthazar Gelt's army? Okay, so he's got a couple of steam tanks. That's pretty serious. He's got a Luminarch of Hish, which is a laser cannon, believe it or not. Some mortars, but like the infantry parts of his army are going to get absolutely shredded. And his troops are tired.
Make them.
I think we should be able to unmake them, yeah, very easily, in fact.
To die. More thralls.
Alright. We slayed some enemy characters. We got a kind of a crummy shield. +6 armor for the entire army. Seems pretty good.
The first.
And then, I mean, fuck it. Be'lakor can just keep spilling blood, right?
They shop.
No survivors.
Hunger for souls.
The Blasphemous Amulet imbues magic attacks on allies. That's not actually very good.
The dark.
That amulet sort of doesn't do anything. Like, in a lot of games, magical attacks would mean you're no longer bound by enemy armor or something like that. But that is not how it works here. Magical attacks means actually remarkably little in this system. And in fact, it's an active detriment against certain kinds of forces. Like, it'll mean your attacks are getting reduced in strength by dwarves and natural magic resistance. Well, I definitely want to knock out Mount Silverspear. We don't know exactly where all of their settlements are, which is really annoying. It does seem like they're probably just going to come up here and resettle the high place with a ton of backup, which is like fine, I guess. Yeah, I don't think I really care about that.
Attack!
I clicked a little too quickly there. I don't know how my unit of Forsaken is supposed to have died in that battle. That seems profoundly unlikely. What's around here? Kind of nothing, actually.
My lord Sinch agrees.
Alright, fall back. More enemies in the area than I was expecting.
I am chaos made manifest.
The gods smile.
Eternal blasphemy.
We do so love the eternal blasphemy. It's very exciting.
Here we pride.
You have my promise.
Alright, I figured we would not quite be in position.
The gods direct.
Not quite in position to attack Mount Silverspear this turn. But we should be able to, I think, hit it on this next turn. And then hopefully we can focus back in the direction of Karazakarak. Okay, here's 600 of these guys. Just sort of coincidentally feeling like it's time to reclaim Carrick Norn, huh? So we could jump this force now. I don't know that I want to fight his whole army and then Belagar's whole army, though. I think they are, in fact, here to reclaim Carrick Norn. So I think what I'm going to do is try to catch and devour one of their armies, and I'm hoping that I'm far enough back that if they attack and I retreat, that Belagar won't be able to pursue. Okay, cool. Just a full-size army belonging to another faction with another arm. Wow.
A glorifying act.
Let's
The gods direct.
I guess do this. Is Von Karstein at war with Jufbar? Okay, yeah. So they might handle this for us, maybe.
Avert your eyes.
I will acquiesce.
I don't think Ratmek's going to be able to get away from us far enough. Yeah, we are going to wipe out their little safety army here.
Witness my beauty.
the god
Okay,
direct.
I am relatively confident that at this point, this is the entirety of this faction.
Ready. They will learn fear.
Okay, so what do we have here? Mostly really basic units. I think the AI is having a problem where it's just not using its good units for whatever reason.
For chaos.
It seems like every AI faction, every AI army we look at, it's just made up of garbage. And they have a lot of them, but, you know, that only helps so much. Actually, I guess I didn't need to do this yet because we were going to sit and recruit one more warpfire thrower. So let's get that and we'll finish our recruitment otherwise later.
Yes, it is so. Moving.
Try to trap them in the bay with our zone of control here. I don't know if that's actually going to work. All right, Hiveld Vorpal Shield. I mean, you got to do something. I think slowing these two armies down isn't really going to do anything, though. They're both close enough to get to the high place, even with a block.
No, not for you, imbecile. Zinch needs your soul.
This is quite unlikely to work. All right. After you commit a successful wounding, you have a pretty serious debuff for the next turn. But I thought it was worth trying anyway.
Are you a god?
I guess I don't think there's a better play here than... You know what? I'm going to have him come over here and assault this garrison on the way to helping with this whole situation.
Yes, I beg. Let me do this.
Okay. Congratulations on being a Chaos Assassin. I'm going to back up just a tiny little bit, I think. I'm getting nervous about this positioning. I mean, I definitely do want to catch them if they try to...
Please.
Okay, he just doesn't want to back up a step. There we go.
Chaos.
Yeah, I want to catch them if they try to do this, but I really want to be safe.
The spoilers come.
Okay, 15% bonus success chance on assassinates is pretty fantastic, actually. Does any of this stuff affect our blue actions at all? No, not really. Well then, disregard.
For chaos.
Okay, let's see what all happens over here. It does seem like my appearance on the scene was the signal for all of the other Chaos armies to show up, so I have some high hopes. We just need them all to play together nicely. Okay, Marathi turned around and came back as reinforcements. I'm just going to take the auto-resolved defeat here. It's going to give us a Valiant, which is like fine. Yeah, we did a lot of damage. The Lord was high enough level that he'll survive. His troops are all replaceable. That's not really a big deal. And we've probably made both of those armies vulnerable to the new army. Dracula Spire got attacked. Yep. Nothing surprising there. I should send somebody over there to drop the portal. Okay, both of Clan Engron's armies just backed off. Malefact's Painbringer is being attacked by Snorri Halfhand. And the game thinks we would lose this. But I'm looking at it and I'm not sure. We have 3 Hell Cannons. They do have an organ gun. I wonder, though, maybe we should actually take this fight. So they have flamethrowers and torpedoes. They have a couple units of giant slayers. We're a little heavy on giants. We have some normal chaos warriors. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is an okay place to call the episode then. I'm going to think about this. When you come back next time tomorrow, we may just go ahead and back off here, but we may give this a shot. It wouldn't be the biggest thing in the world if Malefex's army got defeated. Most of the troops in it are like relatively recent hires, and Malefex himself is high enough level to be immortal. So we will probably take this on the chin and just see if we can break these dwarves right here. And also, hopefully we'll make some distance in our campaign against the other dwarves, and also make distance in our campaign against the other dwarves, because at this point, and probably for the rest of the game, basically all we're doing is fighting dwarves, and I'm already sick of them. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time for more of that, and we'll see you then.